Okay, I still have a couple days on this, so I'm good. But I need to cut it. So what I'm gonna do with something like this, I don't like doing a lot of dishes. So one habit I picked up when I was a caregiver for my husband, who had a lot of profound physical and mental issues, in addition to being an alcoholic. He needed physical care. He needed just monitoring. He needed a lot. And I had problems with depression. I had my whole life. And one day I told him, I just can't do all of it. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, today I have to do the dishes and the laundry and all the other things because we were running a business together. I said, I just can't keep doing it this way. I said, I either need to figure out some other way. I just can't do the laundry or I can't do the dishes. He said, well, forget about the dishes. I'm like, what? He's like, paper plates. So I still use paper plates a fair amount. So I'm just going to cut this. See how it kind of gets like a slime almost on it? And this I need to wash. So I'm going to put that in the sink. And I'm going to use the big knife to cut up just the vegetables that are going in these dishes, so it'll be okay for the chicken paste. So I'm going to turn on the skillet here. And this does not need a really high heat. I'm just barely got this bad boy on. This is a very, very efficient oven. I can feel the heat coming off right now. And I got my little fan going too, so I'm just going to kind of this is how it goes. It's not like other sausages. The other sausage is like one piece. This is just kind of like a big puddle of goo, but it's very tasty. And this brand is good. I will show you the label in a minute. Okay, so this is the brand Cacique pork chorizo. This is not expensive either. And it's like $1 to $2, I think, at the store. And it's very tasty. And I like the pork, of course, so, they had other ones, but we got a little piece of meat here, so I'm going to just kind of slide this off because waste not, want not. All right, come on, get up, get in there. Okay. All right, okay. Ooh, it smells delicious. Okay. Now, this really adds a tremendous amount of flavor to these lentils. I could probably just do it with just the chorizo or just the bacon, but the bacon and the chorizo and my third ingredient, which is like the diced ham in, is going to be so good. Now let me show you the ham while the chorizo is getting started. I like to use these for like cooking because these I like to take them out very frequently so that I don't have a lot of food trash in the kitchen because I live in Texas and I don't want anything getting attracted. Alright, so I got the knife clean and I can use this plate for cutting up the ham, but of course since it touched raw meat, this has to go away before you can't touch anything else. So it's called cross-contamination. It's very bad. You don't want that. So I'm just going to kind of slide this around. It smells very, very good. And I'm going to put some of this grease in also with mine. And that'll be a nice, it really adds a lot of flavor. I was really, really impressed. And I have one more thing. I have two things I'm going to bring out here. I was organizing the kitchen today. And I found squash in here. It needs to be trimmed a little bit somehow. Anyways, I have a very nice spicy cheese I can use to top it. And if I was really, really ambitious, I have some Zelma's Party Time sausage, which this is marshmallow cream keeps jamming up the door. Okay. Okay, hang on. Alright, so this is the nice thing about a very small house. Okay. Slide in here and lateral move here for the marshmallow cookie. Okay. That's one. Let's see if the shredded cheese is in here. It's not. Being a little abusive of my goods here, but there it is. Okay. So I I like this one a lot. It's got a nice kick to it. And it's going to be really good on top of the Meat Lover Pintos. And if you know anything about food combining, the lentil, the rice, the cheese, that is like the protein trifecta. Everything complements each other. So, now this is the ham I'm going to do after I do the chorizo. I'm not going to do all of it, just like maybe like a fist-sized amount. It's slices and pieces. So this is just a Walmart brand. It is about $3 a pound, and it's just little chunks and things. So I can just kind of chop that up, a moderate dice, I'd say, and small dice, kind of like the bacon size, and cook that in the chorizo grease here, some of it, and I also have lard if I need it, but and then add that, reserve that also, and some of this grease can go in there. So there's just some nice fat pieces. I might just take a fat piece and just throw it in it. So anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and take some of this out. And I had some vegetables go bad in the fridge, which is just a horrible experience. It's almost worse than the meat when the meat goes bad. But and let's see how big these are. This is good. Well, that's a good size. You know, I may just use this. Let's see. All right. There's that. I think that's plenty. And I saw a little fat piece over here, and I would like to get that for the lentils, because the fat adds a lot of flavor. So what I'm going to do is just dice this up on the side and then just put that in there. Now, again, nice thing, small kitchen, everything's at hand. Alright, so yeah, I really enjoy cooking. I enjoy creating. I wouldn't say I'm a creator, but I enjoy making things. I always have, whether it's knitting, crochet, crafty things, cooking things. I just love to do that. And one of the things I didn't like about cooking for the deli, when we had a deli, was that, oh, there's the fatty pieces, was that I had to do the same recipe every time, and I like to kind of tweak things sometimes, and, perfect it, basically. So, what I'm going to do here, while cooking the chorizo, it is a pork product, so I don't want it undercooked, but I think it's almost done. It's just hard to tell when it's done because it's got that red stuff in it. So, like with this, I'm just going to use this. I'm going to dice this. I'm going to put it in with the beans when they're cooking. And then for this, I can just roll this up and just cut it like this. And here's another nice fat piece. And because the fat is the flavor, and you want the fat, and fat is not your enemy. I weigh 165 pounds now. I used to weigh 280 pounds. And sadly, this was not my first weight loss. And I had a hard time sticking it because I just kept going back to the carbs. And carbs are not bad. I like carbs. You notice I'm putting rice in this dish. And the beans themselves have carbohydrate. But I'm not doing processed carbs. And one big mistake I have made in my weight loss journey is in this stuff. Was in getting all that processed stuff, like the bars and things, and that's not healthy. And one thing I've been doing, like even for my shakes, is I'm getting a less processed powder that's more just like seeds, basically ground up seeds, soy protein, things like that. That I know a lot of people have a lot to say about soy protein, but I'm in menopause. I'm not worried about estrogens, but the stuff that's just so processed is just not, to me, gonna build your health, because then your liver has to detoxify it, and it's a lot of work for your liver, I would imagine. So, plus you got all these other things. We are currently having a big fire in Houston at a recycling plant. Last I heard, it is basically a mountain of burning tires, car tires, the size of a football field. Last I heard, they had 100 firemen on site. 100. And that's a very bad fire. And it's releasing a lot of air pollution. Some of the levels, the PM 2.5 is like 3 times normal, and that can't be good. And I've had a headache off and on today, and it's just bad. And my body already has to deal with that. I don't want to put a bunch of chemicals in every time I open my mouth to eat. That's just not right. Now, having said that, I do love my diet soda. I am not giving that up. Well, I can at least eliminate some of the other things I'm doing here. So this is a nice collection of ham here, and I only used probably about $2 worth of ham. So you're looking at about $1 worth of bacon, because I got the value brand, and that's a fine value brand for me. I have no issues with it. And so we got the value brand bacon, value brand chorizo, but not the cheapest. Don't get the cheapest chorizo, because it is bad. It's just but you got the value brand meats, and the bacon was $1. The chorizo was, we'll call it $2. This was $2, so that's $5 worth of meat, and I am going to get so many meals out of this. And the chicken leg quarters are very, very cheap, and I already have that cooked, so I don't feel like that I'm even spending money for that. So this has fat all around a meat chunk. So what I'm gonna do is get the meat chunks, and then the fat can go in there. I don't know why I wasn't putting the fat in there, to begin with, but I was putting it off to the side. Okay, so, and then now that the chorizo is done, I can put the ham in there. I just wanted a little crispness to it. And now my personal opinion when I'm cooking beans with meat is I might put like a meat bone in there. I'll put some meat fat in there at the beginning, but I'm not going to put a lot of the actual meat, because in my opinion it gets nasty and tasteless in the cooking process. And I don't know about you, but I've eaten a lot of those dishes where it was just not good. So I mean, the beef had an okay flavor, but the meat was just tasteless and rubbery, and that's not something I want to be eating every day, because I'm going to be eating this every day. So I need a small plate for the chorizo, and I'll show you about how much I've got out of this. Okay, there's this. It's one on my fingers, but not too bad. Okay, 2. And this was an 8-ounce package of chorizo. Ooh, that's getting a little warm. Okay, now the iron skillet stays hot for a while, so I always want the so we're gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna actually okay, yeah, okay, wow, all right, I did that. Okay. So I have some actual chorizo in the skillet, in the pot here, so that can cook it. And I have some grease here in this tray, so I'm just going to kind of use this. Hopefully I can just kind of, yeah, just slide that grease in there. Okay. Now I'm going to put this with the bacon pieces on a little paper plate here I have. So, on a little plate I have. So, I'll be fine. I can wait over there, and I have my snacking meat all ready to go. Now, this, I'm gonna, I gotta do the handle. I was all set to put it away. Now this, it looks like it could use a little grease. I poured it all off, so I've got my friend here. Now, I keep my house pretty warm. If you know anything about coconut oil, it goes liquid at 76 degrees. My thermostat is set a little over 80, so my coconut oil is always liquid in the summertime. Alright, so, which is fine. I like warmer weather, so I'm not real picky about weather, actually. So there's Cleo's piece of bacon, the lentils, the ham. Okay. So I've got the ham here, some of it. And this is the first one. Now this ham is already cooked. I'm just going to crisp it up a little bit and kind of mingle the flavors with the chorizo that's in the pan. And then that's the other one. So, yeah, it's kind of, I'm like slide around the grease here. I'll show you what I did. And then, yeah, that was good. Okay. Because to me, I want a well-rounded meat profile for my meat lover lentils. And the chicken, I'm just doing to see, can I do a chicken variation? Years ago, I attempted a turkey version of my spaghetti, and it was really, really bad, and I have never tried that again. So I use like a turkey sausage, and it's ground turkey, and it's just vile and awful, and I just never did. So, but, you know, and that may be how the chicken lentils turn out, but, you know, I'm going to at least see. So I'm just going to stir this up for a minute and get this going. Alrighty. Okay, that's it for now.